All right. Yeah. We're here with Jason Takemura talking about jiu-jitsu stuffs. What's been going on, man?
Nothing much. Yeah, just coaching my kids a lot lately.
You got your kids in jiu-jitsu, they're training a lot. You were saying Tuesdays, Thursdays are like 5 hours,
Yeah.
7 days a week, nonstop. What's the plans? What you guys got going on right now?
Well, we're actually going to Japan next week. We're going up for the Nagoya. It's going to be both of my kids' first time competing internationally.
Nice. That's the Marianas Open.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good tournament, I heard. Oh, first time overseas. They've left the country before.
Oh yeah. We've traveled for sure, but competing internationally going to be first time. So excited.
Have you competed internationally?
I have not. Only locally. I haven't even competed on the mainland. So
I think the challenge when you're not at home is a different set of things. Besides the cost and everything else, the unfamiliarity.
Yeah.
And it's hard for like the Hawaii athletes because if you want to get prestige outside of Hawaii, you gotta travel.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Your kids do a lot of the local tournaments.
Yeah, we try to. Yeah, we try to compete in all of them, even the smaller ones, whatever we can, as much mat time and reps in that environment.
I think the skill of competing is actually something that people don't realize until you start competing, and you need many matches to get it where you're comfortable competing. It's not the jiu-jitsu side, it's the competing side.
Yeah, mentally it's huge. And then also just going through the process of competition and preparing for competition. You know, for my son especially, I always told him, you don't have to do jiu-jitsu, but you got to compete. Yeah. Whether it's a different sport, whatever it is, learning competition to me is huge part of life.
Getting that like good type of pressure.
Yeah,
like you got to perform under something at stake.
In life later on, you know, for me, I'm a business owner as well, catering and stuff. So coming up, you gotta just the work ethic definitely helps so much.
Yeah, it's like a freebie trial in real life.
Yeah, yep. Preparing you for life skills.
Yeah, for sure. Can we talk about your perception of the local competitions? I know recently you had like a thing where you were talking about like points and referees and events. But jiu-jitsu is weird because we don't have a unified rule set. We have two major. We have IBJJF and ADCC, and then there's like variations of it. But if we were playing basketball and the ball went in the hoop, you know what's a score. If we were playing football and the guy went in the end zone, you know what's a score. Yep. It's pretty clear cut.
Yep.
Jiu-jitsu is weird because of kind of how we score and all the different rule sets.
Yeah, I don't know if that's I don't want to say it's a pride thing, you know, saying like, hey, let's do something but do it a little different. but I think in order for the sport to grow, man, we got to come together and come up with more of a unified rule set, especially in Hawaii. Yeah. You know, if we're going to prepare our kids and our competitors, even the adults, to go compete in overseas, mainland, IBJJF, ADCC, whatever it is, it's hard. It's hard to prepare, you know. We did just last month, I believe, we did the Grappling Industries tournament. And for the kids, we're trying to, you know, we try to prep them as much as we can during comp classes and whatnot. And we're saying, hey, you can do these moves, you cannot do these moves, right? So we're saying these moves are illegal. Guillotine chokes, head and arm chokes, star chokes. Umapaladas, pulling the head down on a triangle.
You could do that in Grappling Industries.
Right. Yep. But the very next week, we're in Triple Crown, right? Or 2 weeks later. And it's like, okay, now all of a sudden you gotta stop doing that. Yeah. So for them, for their reps, for their immediate like response and reactions, you know, it's hard.
It's very hard.
And then, you know, certain positions, front headlock position, for example.
Yep.
One, you got to try to probably get to the back or put them on their back.
Yep.
The other, you're attacking the neck. Right? So it's hard. I mean, it's just difficult from our side to just understand it as coaches.
Yeah.
And then you got to try to, you know, translate that down to the kids.
I think when we get into the non-IBJJF and the non-ADCC, and you have these small rules, even as a corner, even as a coach, sometimes you don't read the intricacies of it,
Yeah.
and you miss things like wait, that's legal here.
Yeah.
And as a ref, I ref some of these tournaments. It's like you get corners yelling at you for stuff, and it's like, I actually agree with you on this, but the rules say it's this, and I have to ref it to that rule set.
Yeah.
And refs are human, right? They're gonna make mistakes, but it does make it hard on, I think, the competitors end, the corners end, the refs end, organizers. I mean, everything.
Just in general, it's hard to move forward. You know, we were getting ready for that Triple Crown tournament. We took a last minute family trip. We're in Vegas. Found out there was a Naga going on Saturday. I threw both of my kids in.
Let's go.
My son got into a triangle, and I literally called out to the ref. I was like, "Hey, can he pull the head?" Because you know, it's like we were training for Triple Crown, and I know you cannot pull the head, right? So I was like, literally, and then the ref's not gonna stop and look at me, right? So I'm like, oh, which one? So, yeah, it's so difficult.
I've seen it where a coach is confused on the corner's confused on the rules, and the ref will walk up and like hand him the rule sheet and walk away.
Yeah.
So they're the rules, man.
Yeah.
But it is hard with slight variations of the rules or big variations of the rules. I really want to see, like, we have 2 major rule sets. I want to see more ADCC style tournaments in Hawaii to get our athletes here chances to compete under it. My first few ADCC, I mean, they weren't like ADCC, but my first time competing on the rule set, man, I didn't know what's going on. And I had tons of matches at the point. It was like, wait, why is that not a score? Wait, was that a score? Wait, out of bounds is not out of bounds?
Yeah. For ADCC, especially.
You have to know what you're competing on, right? It's very difficult.
Yeah. And then having all the kids in the same room competing for all the different tournaments at the same time. Right? We got kids doing IBJJF.
Okay.
All within like literally 2 weeks of each other. IBJJF tournaments, Triple Crown tournaments. We're going up to Nagoya. That's a different. And then we also got kids doing ADCC, and they're all on the mat doing comp classes. And so it's like, man, how do we run this?
Yeah.
Like I want them to be able to attack these positions. I want these guys to play a different strategy because at the end of the day, it's competition. It's strategy, right? So.
Yeah, and with those varying rule sets at a higher level, everything matters. You can't not score your points. You can't not get your advantages or your ref decisions. Speaking of that, there are situations where refs miss very easy calls.
Yeah.
There's a few. The one that I find is missed a lot locally is sweep points.
Yeah, we just ran into that a little bit on this last weekend. You know, and I don't. It can be a couple of different things, right? One it could be their interpretation of the rule, and then at the same time, these are smaller tournaments, so I don't know if they're volunteers or they're getting paid or what it is, but you know, I think it was grappling industries. I saw you guys were all. Was it you guys repping?
I rep the grappling industries.
Yeah. I mean, and their guys are all black belts and black belt competitors, right?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, sorry.
You good? But yeah, I mean, it's so to have black belt competitors as your rep is a huge plus.
Yeah.
But are the rules that they're used to, right? Competing under, is that the same rule set? And now they got a different interpretation, right?
Yeah.
And then on the flip side too, you got the volunteer guys. Just because he's a high-level black belt, could be a coral belt, could be anything. But if you're not familiar with competition rules, right? So definition, it's just so difficult. I'm glad I'm not in their shoes, you know.
You always hear like the can you coach at a high level if you haven't competed? What are your thoughts on that? Setting you up right now.
No, honestly, I think you have to have competed in life. I mean, not in life, in sports, in athletics and stuff to at least be a decent coach. You don't have to be the best basketball player to be a great coach. Steve Kerr, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But
Pat Riley.
Pat Riley,
Jackson, all
of
those
them,
guys.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, but you got to have a good understanding of the process that they got to go through.
Yeah.
and how to build that. And so, yeah, I think you do have to have, you got to have some experience. It'll definitely help. But just because you're a good competitor, it also doesn't make you a good coach.
This is true.
Right? And then you got the guys that maybe haven't competed, but they've been coaching kids or adults competing for so long that they learn the process along the way. Right? So I don't think you have to, but it definitely is going to help.
I think unless you're making a conscious effort, you build your grappling skills, then you build your teaching skills. If you're not building your cornering skills,
Yeah.
I mean, like it's like any other skill, you have to build it. You have to get good at it, and it's perishable. If you're not continually doing it, you're not going to get better. You might even get worse.
100%. I think for me, you have to be coaching your kids, not teaching a class, not like just running a class, not running a comp class, telling them what they got to do and what. But you got to be physically coaching the kid to build that relationship.
Yeah.
They understand the verbiage you're trying to use.
Hear your voice.
Your voice.
Under
Being
pressure.
being able to pick your voice out of hundreds of other voices, and that part is key. You got to be really, really involved and proactive.
Yeah. It's weird if you have your main training partner and they're helping you in the gym. When they're yelling on the sidelines, it doesn't matter who's sitting in the seat. When that person yells, you hear their voice.
Yep.
I would tell my wife wasn't a great jiu-jitsu. She never took it serious. She would come corner me because she would travel, and I'd be like, just yell time and points. Because if you yell something, it cuts through everything. If you're like, take the back and it's not there, I'm still gonna be like, oh, I'll take the back. Because like whatever voice it was that you hear all the time, it just it resonates through everything else.
Yep. That's a great point.
So yeah, definitely. Like if you're gonna be cornering guys, spend the time cornering them in the gym.
And then, with that being said too, from a parent, man, the parents gotta, but I'm a parent and I coach my kids, right? But same thing, right? As a parent, be careful what you yell because they're gonna hear your voice over every single person thing, and you might be yelling the wrong thing. You might be yelling the wrong thing at that time for that specific situation. So. Yeah, time and points. That's good. we gotta communicate now, and that's a good one.
Okay, we're gonna go back to I wanted to talk about sweep points.
Okay.
Do you have a way that you differentiate when it should be sweep points or takedown points, but when it should be sweep points versus when it shouldn't be?
I mean, if you're playing a guard, and that can be any guard, right? Seated guard, half guard, whatever guard. Bottom to top, to me, is probably 2 points.
2 points.
Right? And whether you're seated guard and you wrestle up, boom, takedown, 2 points.
2 points.
Right? If the guy was trying to pass your guard and he got out of that guard position, but he's still on top, you came up, 2 points.
2 points. I always tell people,
I don't think that
if you're up, I'm down, and you sit with no contact, and I stand, it's 2 points, regardless of a sweep happen or the position change happen. So anything that goes top to bottom from a guard position,
you don't even have to touch the person, right? You could be seated guard. The other person can be in front of you. They sit to play double seated, and you stand up. 2 points.
2 points.
And to
very
me,
easy.
That's the clear one that for some reason people still try to argue it a little bit. I don't know.
I don't understand. Well, I do understand why it's misunderstood, but there's no initiation rule for it. And people will always argue, he didn't initiate a sweep. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
In none of the major rule sets, you have to initiate a sweep. It has to be from a guard position. The weird one happens when passes start and like, was it a guard, wasn't a guard. And when I was learning how to ref, someone told me it takes 3 seconds to establish a position. So it could take 3 seconds to unestablish a situation.
Exactly.
So I'm always like, if they start passing and it's kind of guardish and it wasn't that way for 3 seconds, I'm going to give the points top to bottom.
Until they pass the guard,
yes,
which is 3 seconds, you're still in the guard.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So you might pass my guard, get to side control, 3 seconds, then I wrestle up.
Yep.
Then it's a reversal.
Right.
Different story.
Yep. Well,
that was established for 3 seconds, right? If you're not establishing a change in position,
I want people to understand that every time I see someone arguing about it, someone always has that there wasn't an initiation, I didn't see a sweep, and I'm like, that's not how the rules work, right? We should know how points are scored in tournaments.
Yeah.
If you're competing.
100%.
Yeah. Otherwise, I feel like top to bottom from anywhere should be points like wrestling.
Yes.
Whole other conversation.
Yes. 100%.
All right, so your kids are competing quite a bit. You're traveling, you're taking it serious in your gym where you train at. A lot of those kids, you said, they're doing all the different rule sets. That leads to the amount of training you can get in one location.
Yeah.
Or like, are you seeking out extra reps in other places?
Oh, I mean,
Supplementing the training.
it's so hard to, if we're gonna do for example, today we got a no-gi comp class, right? And then you're gonna have kids doing IBJJF no-gi, ADCC guys, but then you also got guys going to Europeans 100% gi only.
Yeah.
I have, that's the one part I love about Island Jiu-Jitsu is they have zero problems that if the gi guys want to go and cross train at another gym with another professor or whatever it is, or do a private, or skip class to go do judo or wrestling, they don't have any problems with it. They encourage it, and I encourage it as well. I mean, and that's my class that they're sitting out of, but I understand it 100%. And it's so important. It has to happen.
Everybody has their journey, and if you're trying to be good, competitive, best in the world, you have to figure out what you need to improve on, and then you have to take the path to get there.
Yep. And everybody's journey is a little bit different. So there is no one cookie cutter, this is the way, right? And you get some gym or school owners.
Some individuals.
They have a difference of opinion with that, and that's nothing wrong with that. They have a different, maybe a different business model, and they're not so much about competition, but they're focusing on the whole group as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? And if you got guys leaving the cross train, then you're taking away my best training partner for that guy and whatnot.
Right.
But the guy that's gotta go, like, at the end of the day, they're athletes, and they got to do what's best for them, and their parents got to make what's the best decision that it is for the success of their kids.
Yes, sir. I feel like anybody who's serious about jiu-jitsu as a sport, jiu-jitsu as a competition, they want to make it a career, they want to chase a dream, you have to go to different places because no individual knows everything. And any individual who thinks that, they're lying to themselves. But like, if that guy's good at takedowns, and that guy's good at leg locks, and that guy's good at guillotines, I'm going to go to the best guy. And like, that's the natural progression. It should be more welcome that like, go get the best training. I'll see, get it from that guy, come back and keep it to us.
Exactly, and not to keep promoting those the school we're at now, but
promote them.
Like I was fortunate enough that they trusted me to run their competition classes, and they have no problem. I checked with Professor Jason first, but I brought in AJ when it came to like, hey, work with our guys with guard and De La Hiva. To me, one of the best guys to do it in Hawaii that competed and can also relate to them from the competition standpoint, right?
AJ knows so much. Guard one, top bottom. His guard is, oh my gosh.
And then when we was working on guard passing, I took up the concept, work with Maya. But I was able to bring Maya into the academy.
Okay.
So I brought AJ in, I brought Maya in. For wrestling, no-gi, I brought Zach in. Zach's Division I wrestler, black belt judo, brown belt jiu-jitsu. I mean, and they bringing in the outside resources, they had zero problem with. It was a benefit to all the kids. They helped promote it. They showed up. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys got egos. They're saying, man, this is my place. And like, I can teach that. And yeah, you probably can teach it, but can you teach it at that level? And then for the kids, they see you making that effort, bringing in the outside guys, and they see like, and from the parents' perspective, they see like, as an academy owner, as a head coach, that you're willing to put your ego aside to do what's best for my kid and their development. So that it's huge, man. I'm so happy where we're at right now.
That's so awesome.
No doubt.
I feel like if we're on an island, right? if we all get better, we all have to get better.
Yeah.
Right? So like, why not make everyone as good as possible? I tell people, I'll coach you, and I'll show you everything I know and the things I'm good at.
Yep.
And if you learn something, I'll bring it back to me. I want to know what you're doing. So like, if I hold it to myself, the ceiling would be me.
Yes.
Right? I don't want that. I want the ceiling to be well beyond that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a 20-time world champion.
Yeah. You know, there's that saying too, right? Like a father is one of your, the only people in the world that want your kid to be better than you. From a coach's perspective, it's the same thing. You know, from a coach's perspective, you got to feel the same way. You know, you can pass on whatever you can pass on to the kids, but I don't want them to be me. I want them to be 10 times better than me, right? And sometimes you got to swallow your
That's how
pride.
it should be.
Yes. But, you know, like competition again, right? So like from a school's perspective, if your main focus is competing against the other schools locally, and there's nothing wrong with that, then that's perfectly fine. And then I can understand maybe they don't want their guy crushing against that guy because you're going to make that guy better than the guy that in our gym that needs to compete against him on Saturday. But there's levels to it, right? If your goal as a competitor, as a kid, as a parent, is to go not just beat the guys in Hawaii, you want to go beat the guys on the mainland. You want to go be the best in the world.
Yeah.
And that's a different goal, and you got to be okay with that as an instructor. Like I'm a chef, and if I got a cook that wants to grow and he wants to learn different food, I cannot be upset. I support him. I'll even make some calls. I'll get him into wherever I can. You know, if I got a guy that's a sous chef and his goal is to be a head chef or be a restaurant owner, he's not going to be the exec chef because I am, right? But
I'm not leaving this job.
right?
I'm here.
But at the end of the day, it's like, hey, I support you, you know, and then you support your people that have bigger, better goals than what you have to offer. And in the end, they'll come back. You know, like I got a guy that's running 2 restaurants right now, and whenever he's off, he comes back and helps me. You know, we
That's
have
beautiful.
that relationship, and I wasn't mad when he said he had to leave. You know, and to go get his career, take it to the next level.
And that's really how it should be. Like, help the people around you, get them to where they want to go. Don't hold people back.
Yes.
Like, we're all going to live our lives. We're going to follow our paths.
Yeah.
And, like, you want to find somewhere that cultivates that.
Yep. We all got something that we specialized in, and just stick to that. You don't have to pretend to be everything for everyone. You know, just be true to what you are and stick to that. And if somebody outgrows that, be happy for them. It's all good. You know, it's gonna be 2 people replacing that person to come in the next day. There's enough for everybody. This is a growing sport. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I think that's a perfect place to end because that was awesome. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it, man. I like I said, I love the aspect of I really like where we're at today with jiu-jitsu and competition. I took my kids over to Maya's last night and
That concept.
that concept, you know, and prior to that we were at comp class at IJJ and
we're sitting in Vessel right now.
we're at Vessel. We're about to do open mat here, and then I'm actually taking our kids after today's class that I'm teaching for comp class at IJJ. We're taking a handful of our kids to Cavs Leeward.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna go cross train and get in some different looks and make sure that whatever style you're exposed to that you can at least get familiar with, and you're gonna run into different stuff, man, out there in the mainland and in Japan, and we want to just not be like, oh, what's going on, you know. So.
Oh yeah, man. Well, let's go get some reps in.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Right on. Thank you.
Jason. Thank you.